All right, my man. State your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
What's up, y'all? My name KP. I'm on Real Talk with Nick.
That's what's up, man. Are you a Knicks fan, sir?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not. Definitely not. Nah.
Oh, man, but you follow the Knicks.
I fuck with the Knicks. It's hometown. It's
okay.
Hometown. You got
so is it safe to say that you're a disappointed Knicks fan?
Of course, for damn near 2 decades right now, man. Melo ain't pulled through. I don't know what's going on, bro.
All right, man. Well, let's bring it up to speed, man. I want to talk about the Knicks of today, man. When you watch the Knicks of today,
yeah,
what player do you see on the Knicks that make you say, you know what, I might just get a Knick cap and put it back on the dome and start thinking orange and blue again?
I'm not gonna lie, it's a couple of them right now. You got Quickly.
Let's start there. Let's start with Quickly.
Yeah.
What you like about Quickly's game, man?
Fearless. I like his pull-up threes. I like that you see that he's trying to learn still. He's coachable, definitely. Who else?
Who did he remind you of? He remind you of, I'm gonna name some players, man, because his idol is Lou Williams.
Lou Williams.
And then some compare his game to Maxey. Terrence Maxey from Philly.
I could see both. Definitely with the Lou Will aspect, the six man aspect, definitely coming and giving him a spark.
Yeah.
That's what Quickly do, definitely.
Yeah. And what's his upscale like as far as Quickly, man? I mean,
what's his ceiling?
Yeah.
He could be a 6 between a serviceable starter to like a 6-man, to like a solid 6-man. I don't know about borderline all-star. I don't know about all-star really though. Definitely.
Yeah.
He got talent though. He's one of the ones. I don't need them to trade him at all.
At all.
At all. Nah. Unless it's for some better talent.
Now, when we speak of the point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now the Knicks got a point guard in Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Some say, why bring Jalen Brunson when you could have developed Emmanuel Quickly to play that same position when he was under the tutelage of Derrick Rose for the past 2 seasons?
I felt right there was like a bunch of politics. You know, his father is on a payroll with the Knicks and shit like that. He's a coach and shit.
Right. Assistant coach. Yes.
Yeah, I think they jumped the gun with Brunson. We'll see. He's small. You know,
think that's going to be to his disadvantage, his size?
Yeah, defense is a liability right there.
Why you say that?
We seen it in the last series with the Mavericks. You know,
who exposed him when you say defense is a liability?
I just feel like big guards. He's witty enough to I guess Thibodeau. I guess they'll find a way to probably shield him like they do Steph and that sort, but. Mano a mano, he's a little small, and right now the guards is big right now, unless you got like Trey Young and shit like that. But it's big guards right now. But he's savvy though. He's savvy. He'll make it work though. Yeah. Yeah, but
is he a Chris Paul caliber type of point guard, man? Where do you rate Jalen Brunson, man? When you speak of the greats, man, is he in discussion of the Damian Lillard, the Chris?
Not right now. He ain't shown me enough. We going off like one series, really, like one playoff run, really. You know, so we really can't call it. I really can't call it. It's too early, and I wish people would stop doing that, man. We putting these players on too high of a pedestal too early, and I felt like another Knicks player. I felt like they did that with R.j. Barrett. But he's coming into his own right now. Okay,
we're going to get into R.J. Barrett in a minute. When we speak of Jalen Brunson, though, right, do you think he'll be able to withstand other guards like Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday? Is he going to have a problem?
I don't think he's going to have a problem, only because I think his IQ is top tier. I like his composure. I like that he can run a team. He can run a team, but I just feel like the defense aspect and being that Thibodeau is defense first. We gotta see. You gotta see.
You gotta see. Mm-hmm. Okay, man. And as far as his court vision, facilitating,
great IQ. I could definitely see 22-8 kind of guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I can see that.
All right. And how effective would he be when we speak of my man R.J. Barrett?
I think they'll click because he's like. You got to remember, he came out of college kind of old, you know, for right now in this climate, you know, so he's mature. He can run a team. His intangibles is what's going to lead him to success with the Knicks. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. And R.J. Barrett, man, is becoming the face of the team.
I love R.J., man. I love R.J. being there. I don't know what clicked like last season, what shifted, but he just took control of the offense. I think they should run it through him, man. I think they should, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, man. We'll talk about the other guy, man.
Yeah, but what about R.J. Barrett, man? I mean, what's his ceiling, man? What you like about his game, man?
Honestly, when he came out, of course, Zion. He came out with Zion.
Right, everybody was high on Zion.
Yeah, Zion and Cam. I said he came into the right position in the Knicks.
You think he was underrated?
Very underrated, because at first he couldn't go right. He was streaky. He's still a little streaky, but he's getting better where he could. The game is slowing down for him. The game is slowing down for him, and he see the floor. He got to attack more. I like that. He's streaky.
So you say he wants it?
He wants it. He got that it factor. They should run that offense through him. Him and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Run that offense between them two, and just let the chips fall.
Okay. Now I want to talk about somebody who fans say don't want it no more. You know what I'm saying? Say he got lazy once he got that extension contract, man.
Who we talking about?
You talk about no other than Julius Randle, man. Talk to me, baby. What's up with Randle, man? Do you think he want to be a Knick at this present time, man?
No, because I think he felt that energy from the fans in the Garden, man. I think you probably remember they booed the shit out of him this past season. You know?
Let's play devil advocate, man.
Yeah,
because this is the same player, right?
Definitely.
That brought the Knicks, or shall I say, he had a great influence of bringing the Knicks to the 4th seed.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
My man was screaming out, "We here!" At his son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then all of a sudden, the son seen him have a bad game, was seen crying in his fans.
Right.
And it seemed like shit went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Could it be that Julius Randle got the short end of the stick because he had to bring the ball up like a point guard, being that the Knicks didn't have a point guard, or vice versa? He can't handle the market of New York. And the only reason why he had that success is because he was in a bubble during this pandemic where there wasn't no fans. Talk to Nick.
I was about to get into that. He got paid at the right time. He performed at the right time. Basketball was kind of funny last season. Like it was still up in question. Was it going to continue? Was it going to get shut down? He performed, and I just feel like it gave the league like a year to catch up to him. Like he's flawed, you know. He performed, but he's flawed. He another person that can't go right. He hold the ball a little too long. He could fall in love with the jump shot a lot. Granted, I do like the progression because he is talented, but I think he's like more of a third option guy on a contending team.
Third option,
definitely third option. Yes.
Okay, and we speak of the Knicks.
Yeah,
he the third option because
on the Knicks right now, the way it's constructed, he got to be like the second option. He got to R.J. and then him, you know.
Yeah,
definitely.
Now, some say he's going to have a problem not being a number one option.
I could see that because his temperament, his attitude screams that. Last season, you could see sometimes he'll lose focus with the fans, with his coaching staff, with his team. Like, he shows it on the court. So that would be something he has to work on, or the Knicks just got to come around.
Do you think it's going to be a problem with him and Jalen Brunson gelling?
Again, Jalen Brunson, not a problem because I feel like he's mature. He's like, I think Randle needs somebody who's like young in like basketball years, but is mature like mentally. D Rose is that, but D Rose is a vet, you know. So you need somebody around Randle's age to just tone him down and just think of the bigger picture. Okay,
speaking of D Rose, man.
Yeah.
He's, I think, the only vet that's left on the Knicks, man.
And then I think you got, I don't know about Taj. I don't know what happened.
Taj got traded.
He got traded? Okay.
Kemba Walker got traded.
Okay.
Nolens Noel, Reggie Bullock. I mean, you know.
I felt like it was times last season where Tibbs fell in love with D Rose. You know, even though D Rose performed, he set the tones most of the games, but I feel like you got the youth on the bench. You gotta utilize them to your best advantage, because if you thinking about going into the postseason, you can't give all the minutes to a beaten, battered D Rose. You know, you gotta prepare these young bulls for the next upcoming battle. But that's Tibbs for you, man. That's Tibbs.
Speaking of Tibbs, man.
Oh man.
How great of a coach is he in yards?
Y'all need Mark Jackson, man. He X's and O's. He's there. He's straight defense though. I don't really see the offensive side. He pushes his players too much. I remember reading an article during the season where Mitchell Robinson said he was a little tired, you know. But you know that's a gift and a curse too. That's devil advocate. You're not supposed to be tired. You're 22 years old, but that's another thing. But I feel like he do push his players too much.
Too much?
Yeah, he overexhausts them where they don't have nothing left towards the end of the season, and it shows.
You said the end of the season. What about the fourth quarter? Some say that.
Yeah.
You know,
the legs don't be there. The legs don't be there. I don't. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the legs don't be there at the end of the game if you got them. If you got your superstar, you want him to put up 20 to 25 points. Granted, you want your superstar to play defense too, but you got the other teammates got to handle that for him, man. You can't have him locking down and then you want him to 25, 30 you a game, especially if he's the only scorer, the only person that can do it. It's just, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. It's coaching.
Damn. How would you rate Thibodeau? And when we speak of all the Knicks coaches, where does he line up, man? I'm going to name some, man.
Okay, yeah.
You had Mike Woodson.
Yeah.
You had Pat Riley. You had David Fizdale. You know, I mean, Mike D.
I mean, in current times, I definitely, of course, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Those are the times in the grimy 90s and shit.
Yeah.
They set the tone for what the coaches should have been, and with Knicks basketball, I'm gonna have to say second, Jeff Van. I'm gonna have to go Jeff Van for second. Third, Mike Woodson. I'll go Mike Woodson. He had better talent around his tenure with the Knicks. And then I'll give it to D'Antoni.
Damn, Tom Thibodeau is at the bottom of the list?
He might be 5. Thibodeau might be 5 because it's just his coaching style. It doesn't scream success, you know? D'Antoni doesn't either, but at least it's entertaining. It's entertaining. We'll love to watch it shooting threes, running gun and shit like this. The Thibodeau system is just like, it's cringe a little bit sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. And the big talk, man. We're going to talk big now. Mitchell Robinson, man. He just got his extension. He got his $60 million. Do you know that Mitch got a behind-the-arc game that he's been practicing for the past 2 years?
Right, and
don't show it on the court.
Right.
I'm going to ask you, man. It's a known fact that a player like Patrick Ewing changed the game for big men shooting from the outside.
Right.
Do you think Mitch should implement that in his repertoire when we speak of today's game? Is it needed for big men in today's game to have an outside game?
I'm gonna answer the second part. It's definitely needed for today's game. Now, do you want him doing it? Again, that goes with the system. If you trust him, if he shows consistency, why not? Because he a beast down low. I like how fast he get off the ground and shit like that. He's definitely something to. I felt like they definitely should have paid him. You know, he's a spark. He's young. He's energetic. So, but if he's consistently working on his three, why not? Everybody's shooting a three right now. You got to extend the range. The court, so it leaves space for everybody else to get right on the floor. So, you know, it's all about trust. It's all about trust.
It's all about trust.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all about trust. And Jericho Sims, who's the backup center. Yeah.
He showed some flashes last year. The games I've watched where he showed flashes, you could tell that he's raw. He's raw. He's young. I believe he was a rookie last year, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he needs some time. But again, this is all about the system, the culture. If he's around good people, good talent, good coaches, sky's the limit with him.
All right, and I got 3 more questions to be out of here.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker, man.
Damn.
Kemba Walker, everybody thought he was going to be the face of New York, being that he's from New York.
My guy.
I mean,
My guy.
Tom Thibodeau wasn't high on him.
Yeah.
Because he ain't played D.
Right.
But some say, well, the nerve of you, Tibbs, to think that way of Kimba, where you stroke Julius Randle ego every chance you get, and he don't play no D.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
No, I don't agree with it. I feel like Kimba should have got some more run. He is short, but we've seen Kimba in lower markets be successful. Charlotte, Boston, he kind of had a raw deal. Injuries and injuries with the Knicks too.
Do you think he's damaged goods?
Yeah, at this point he might be. I'm gonna be honest. Kimba's my guy. So, but he might be, be around the same age, about 30, 32, 31 or some shit like that. So, yeah, but I felt like Tip should have gave him a little more of a shot, definitely, because he's a person that has great IQ, great character, intangibles. He's not like a knucklehead where he's not gonna listen and shit like that, like Julius Randle. But yeah, he got a raw deal.
You got a raw deal. All right. And my man Cam Reddish, man. Who another one said, like, in Duke, I believe he played for. That was the man. But he was playing besides R.J. Barrett, Zion,
yeah.
And then he gets on the Knicks. He plays 12 games.
Right.
He gets injured. Like, you don't see too many games where he's displaying his talent. And some say that Tom Thibodeau is overlooking this kid, man. How you feel about that, man?
I've read in the media that Tibbs wasn't high on trading for him anyway. His game, I feel like he doesn't have a motor. I don't like him game too much. He plays too pretty. He plays like he's just there to be there. I wasn't high on him coming out of Duke. I really was high on, of course, R.J. Barrett, but yeah, I don't really feel too much for Cam.
Nah,
really.
It's too lackadaisical.
That's what it is. No motor, no passion, no fire. Streaky at best. I think.
Does he remind you of like a Michael Beasley?
No, because at least Michael Beasley, he was a knucklehead, but you could tell that he want to go put the ball in the basket. You could count on him to go do that. Cam is just he's a 3-point shooter at best. That's it. I don't feel too much.
And now I want to talk about the oak tree. My boy Obi.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. When we speak of Obi, Kanovi.
He's a crowd favorite.
Yeah, man. Some say, man, he play above the rim. Do you think he can play off the ball, though?
Yeah, because I think we've seen it since he's been in the league. I haven't seen him like control the tempo of the game or seen the offense ran through him. I've always seen like running gun plays, fast breaks, alley-oops and shit like that. But he has energy. He has motor. He has things that us in New York we live by. Like if you gonna be on that guard floor, play. It don't matter if you got 5 points, 8 points, 20 points, 30 points. Play your game.
What do you say to those who say he's only good for fast breaks?
It comes with time, bro.
Do you agree with that?
For right now, this is like his second year.
Right.
Yeah, give him some time. Let him. He's working. Let him work. People this is what we did. We're going back to R.J. People was writing them off. First, you got to give these players some time to develop. These kids is young. They young. They 18, 19 years old.
Okay, and when we speak of development of R.J., Obi.
Right.
What would you like to see, man?
He could become I could see Kenyon Martin. I could see that for his career.
Yeah.
Get that little free throwing down, jump shot, energy, play defense. He's long, he runs, he's fast. He could definitely be a Kenyon Martin. Can
he develop to be a Maury 2.0?
He could be he can. He just if he wanted, he gonna do it. But it's all about the want factor now. There's young players, I feel like it's too much money being thrown around. So I feel like the desire to be great is, you can probably count a handful of people that want to do that shit.
Is he more effective starting or playing in the second unit?
Second unit. What up, boss? Chillin'? Yeah, definitely with the second unit because you need that spark. Sometimes you can see the Knicks in the first quarter, they'll be down a lot and shit like that, so you need that energy him quickly coming off the bench and shit like that.
Now, did you see Obi game when Julius Randle got hurt? I think Julius Randle had a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And Obi filled in for him, started and had what, back-to-back 30-something point games and whatnot.
Right.
Was you impressed with that, or you felt like, you know, it was towards the end of the season?
I was impressed only because, you know, in the end of the season, people try to write it off like, oh, it's the end of the season. But he stuck to it. It's a game. You playing. Play ball. My teammate is injured. I'm next man up. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, love that, actually.
Okay. And this is the cherry on the top, man.
Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
All this talk
right.
about Donovan Mitchell coming to the New York Knicks. Some say if you sign Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, he's going to make the start 5 strong, but he's going to make the bench weak. Some say Donovan Mitchell is not that guy because, believe it or not, he's injury prone. Like he have issues with his ankles. I hear all types of things when we speak of Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
Some say he's just a borderline superstar in the making. He's not even a superstar yet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For you to give up the farm.
Right.
Talk to me, man.
D. Mitch, Utah really never really had like a second person to go to as far as like scoring while he's been there. So it's just like he's the person that has to control the offense, has to put up the basket. So it's gonna make it seem like he's the borderline superstar he is. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he really hasn't gave me the vibe that he could come to New York and put it on his back and shit like that. And I wouldn't give up the farm for him. You know, I'm not giving up RJ. I'm not giving up Quickly, Obi. I'm not. It's just.
Would you give up Grimes for him?
Yeah, I'll give up Grimes.
What about McBride?
I'll give up McBride. I'll give up Grimes. I'll even give up Mitchell Robinson if that's what y'all want to do.
Ooh.
You know?
Ooh.
I would.
Oh, I can tell you're not a Knicks fan now. You're talking crazy. You said give up Mitch for Donovan Mitchell.
You got it.
You got to risk a big man.
Yeah, in today's game, I feel like
I would think that Mitchell Robinson would be needed for a player like.
Let me tell you, because
Donovan Mitchell to flourish
in today's game. Not really, because we've seen it basically with him and Rudy Gobert. You know, he's not an offensive guy. Mitchell was just like a defensive guy, springy, alleys and shit like that, and it wasn't success for Donovan Mitchell. Well, it wasn't the highest success for Donovan Mitchell. But I say that to say, in basketball right now, it's really positionless, you know? So it's just like your big man could be 6'8", 6'9", Draymond, Kyle Anderson, shit like that, and your team could still flourish. It's just your system. Again, it goes back to your system.
Is Donovan Mitchell a liability on defense?
They say that. Yeah, they definitely do say that. I'm not too much of the Utah fan to really go by that, but that's what they say, you know.
But do you see that in your eyes when you watch this game? Because Tom Thibodeau is a defensive coach. So if he's a defensive coach and he got players like Kemba Walker who he sat out because he ain't played no defense.
I mean, to be honest,
we have players like Kevin Knox who's no longer with us because he ain't played defense.
Right.
Why would they even acquire a player Donovan Mitchell if you're saying he's a liability on defense to come under the umbrella of Tom Thibodeau?
It's kind of, you can't really compare those other players to D. Mitch because he's been like a 2-3-time All-Star. He's basically carried Utah. They made playoff appearances. So, like, to take a gamble on him is a little different. Like, you may have to grab him. He's from the town. He's young. He's good. He's a good player to gamble on, honestly. But you might need somebody else to pair with him. That's what you need.
Do you think he isolates the ball?
Yes. He could get into that sometime. But, again, that was the system in Utah. He was the only person that could really put that ball in the hoop over there.
So that was a game he had to play.
He had to play.
That's what I'm talking about with Julius Randle, where we say he played like a point forward.
Yeah.
Is that Julius Randle's game, or is it something he had to do, being that we had a point guard?
At that time, they had to do that for the Knicks. I told you he got paid at the right time. He performed at the right time when basketball was a little shaky. You feel me? But That's not his real game. His game is like a back to the basket, bring your big man out. I could do that little midi. I could step back if I need to. But to control the offense and set my team up and I'll be the decision maker, that's not his game, because we seen that this past season. And the league caught up to it. They caught on to it. Wow.
Okay. And speaking of this is it, man. Because that series between the Knicks and Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
We was busting them Dirty Birds ass all season long, man.
Yeah,
and then the postseason came.
Right.
And it seemed like Trae Young had the Knicks numbers, man.
Right.
Who gets the blame for that, man?
I wouldn't just solely put it on coaching, but they definitely got like a large percentage of that, because again, why go from the game plan that got y'all beating them during the season, you know? But to play devil's advocate, that was the season. Atlanta probably turned it up during the postseason, and they had their number, you know. But and then we could talk about they probably the gas. They probably got tired later in the season. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We've seen that before, where teams will beat a team during the season 3 times, and then in the playoffs it just be like a whole different story. So yeah, it's different.
Okay, and this is it, man. We was talking about lefties earlier during this interview, right? You said R.j. Barrett is a left, right?
What up, boss? Chilling.
R.j. Barrett is a lefty, right? So you got R.j. Barrett as a lefty.
Yeah.
You got Jalen Brunson, a lefty. Julius Randle, lefty. So my question to you, brother, is that going to be a problem? Because you got all these players that's left dominant. The opposition, when we come against us, when they come against us, all they got to do is force them to their right. Do you think that's going to be an issue?
Nah, because I feel like for R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle, because that's been their game for about 2 seasons now, and I haven't seen them. I haven't seen a change yet. Brunson, I actually seen him with the Mavericks play offhand, lay up with his right, control the offense with his right. Again, Brunson is going to be the player that set the tone for the Knicks, and hopefully with his maturity and his IQ, he can get them all on board. But yeah, I feel like RJ and Julius Randle, they gotta switch it up. They gotta get the defense rattled a little bit, because if they go right, 2 dribbles, we know they coming back left, you know? So Brunson is different. He's different.
All right, my man. That's what it is, man. I want to thank my man for coming on Real Talk with Nick. He's a Knicks fan, y'all. Ain't no way in hell, man. Let me tell you something, bro.
We want to be.
You are a disappointed Knicks fan. And you never repped at them Brooklyn-ass Nets, man.
Not how?
So that's where all the disappointed Knicks fans go. So there's hope for you, brother. There's actually hope for you, bro.
I hope.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, so when the season starts, man, it's going to be all good and dandy, man.
I hope.
Looking through them. Oh, and before we go, did you see the all-season, the PM, the night tournament with Jalen Brunson? You know where I'm going, man. They lost by 13, man.
Man.
Is that an embarrassment, or do you feel that they were saying, you know what, this ain't nothing serious, so you just gonna take it light?
There's a little bit of both. I feel like if you're an NBA player, you should definitely exhaust your talents and show like the amateurs that you ain't nothing to play with. But on the flip side, these amateurs gonna go at you. They not scared. They want to bust your ass. So you gotta perform. I feel like that happened to Denzel Valentine a couple years ago in the Drew League, where like a known player from the West Coast bust his ass, killed his confidence, and now he's out the league right now. So it's gift and a curse with that. You can't be lackadaisical with these amateurs. They not playing. All
right, and that's what it is, man. Real Talk with Nick, y'all, in the heart of Hollow.